Hi. Thanks, Jerry Can. I'm Bondar JR, also known as the Silver Wolf. I said also known as the Sweaty Bastard because I'm sweating my butt off. But sorry for being a little late. You guys hear me now? Yeah, I think so. All right, so we're going to do some eveonline today. Today is our mining event. So hopefully everybody's here and anxious to get started mining some rocks. I need to jump Falstaff to there. My coffee is still being made, so I'll take a break here in a second to get my coffee. Where's my clone? Something's wrong. Azure 3? Why would it be an Azure 3? Where the hell's Azure 3? How would I have jumped from Azure 3? Something's not right. Now that's definitely, I think, the one. Well, yeah. Okay, so. Oh, sorry, you guys aren't even looking. Oh, what I get for. Sorry. I am frazzled this morning. So the wife left for Manila. Her sister is in from Japan. We talked about last week. Her sister needs to go to Social Security, get some stuff straightened out with her deceased husband. And so my wife went with her, also to work on some of her stuff. But weirdly enough, it looks like I jumped this guy from somewhere that I shouldn't have, which is kind of stupid, but oh well, what else is new? So I'm only 3 jumps from Eufine, so let's go to Eufine and we'll get started. So sorry about that, but yes, I'm working on making my coffee. Coffee's not made yet. So yeah, been one of those mornings. So they were supposed to leave at 4:30. My wife didn't wake up till 5 when they started pounding on the door. So they were already late. And when I tried to lay back down to get back to sleep after all that excitement, it was not working out well. So, and then of course, around 7:45, I finally fell asleep and slept till 8:30, which is what made me late. So, and then of course, my dear daughter Abigail refused to go to the bathroom. Still hasn't gone to the bathroom. So I'm sure we're gonna have a problem here sometime where she's gonna tell me she's got to go to the bathroom. I'm gonna tell her too damn bad. So. Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. So we streamed Star Sector yesterday. Appreciate all of you, Dark Slider, Jerry Can, that made it. Appreciate that. StreetCornerBecky, good to see you. Dark Slider, Jerry Can, of course. Appreciate you guys. Jerry Can, thanks for the subscription. Above and beyond, buddy. Above and beyond. So appreciate you guys. So yeah, so we'll do eveonline today, tomorrow, and what I call Thursday, which you guys call Wednesday night, and then we'll do something else on Friday. So did my daily PvP, so now working on this. There you go. Well, you're welcome to join us if you want to mine. That's the most relaxing way to make ISK. So we're gonna be in Eufine once I get there, which is in Galente space. So fortunately, I left my jump clone somewhere, so you have no mining skills. That's all right. That's all right. That's the nice thing about mining. You can still do it whether you have skills or not. So, and you can even train the skills while you're doing it. So, but yeah, definitely the easiest thing in Eve to do. So, But yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of people yesterday for Star Sector, and it was a pretty bad start for Star Sector. So I think we'll probably, if we do Star Sector again, we'll probably start over because that was a crappy start. But probably not do the tutorial. The tutorial does give you quite a bit of stuff, but rumor has it if you don't do the tutorial, you end up with the same stuff. So I haven't tried that yet, but yeah. But yeah, it was a really crappy start. So, but what else? Weekend, we celebrated our anniversary. So my wife and I have been married 18 years, which is amazing. It seems like we just got married yesterday. I always start typing in the in-game channel as soon as I dock, which defeats that purpose. So yeah, so I am in Ufiend. Doesn't look like anybody else is, unfortunately, or else you guys are already mining if you are. So if you are, that's fine too. So let me check local. So Mako's in local, so that's good. All right, so let me start a fleet. Let me start a fleet. I clean out my hold. Actually, let's leave that in there. Let's leave that in there. All right, we got him. Let's add in Mako. Mako, I'm going to invite you. Sounds good. Ready for fleet invite. All right, Lilu, I'm going to invite you too. Oh, no, that's Mako. Never mind. Seeing the end of your name. So yeah, I got Mako invited. Lana's there, but I don't think Lana is around. That's kicking. Actually, I see Omega is in, so we'll give him an invite, see if he wants to join us. Yeah. Yeah, I'm still docked. I think I'm going to get, yeah, I'm here, but docked up. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to get my, let me switch to my porpoise. I'll go ahead and get my porpoise out. Let me make sure I got enough fuel. I'm pretty sure I do, but you know how that works. So the fuel bay is not full. All right, so Lana rejected invitation, no response. And Jalen, Omega also, no response. All right, so let's add that. Can we put it in the fleet hangar? Yeah, let's go ahead and fill it there too. All right, cool. We got our mining hold. We do have mining drones. Yes, we have mining drones and infiltrators. All right, cool. We're in good shape. All right. So let's go ahead. So yeah, let's pick a belt. That way at least we'll get started. Want me to scout about? Yeah, go ahead. Would you let us know which one? I don't care. I'm good. And then we'll meet you there because this porpoise flies like a porpoise. It is not the fastest ship in the fleet. Not the fastest ship in the fleet. Not the fastest ship in the fleet. So yeah, Jerry Can, thanks for telling me I was muted. I did hit the button. It just didn't seem like it took. So what else is new? But so our family outing this weekend was really good. We had a really good time. The little bit of family drama, as is always the case when you get family together. So that was interesting. Of course, since I don't speak the language yet, I didn't understand the family drama. So I'm not sure I still do after they explained it. So so not a big family drama for me. So, but the place had a big pool. At Planet 9, Belt 8, all clear. Plenty of rocks. All right. I'm going to warp to you. As soon as I find the fleet window. Warp to member. All right. All right.
Warp drive active.
Oh, yeah. I can't move if I do that. Yeah, we'll get those started. Alright. Now we're moving. What? Capsuleer aggression against another capsuleer. I don't know, what capsuleer did I do something against? That don't make no damn sense. That don't make no damn sense. Alright, so let me get the core up and the compression up. Gonna get you guys hooked up here in a second. Actually, I should have got in position, but this will work. Launch. 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 Love how it does that. Just a real pain in my butt. Alright. Alright, got them up. You use boost. I got boost going. Yep, booster up. Compression is up. Yep. Booster not stellar, but they'll get the job done. There's not a whole lot. My miners are only 28. I'm pretty sure I get like 45 from Jackson, so. No, you're always welcome. That's why I keep this porpoise here for just such an emergency. Just such an emergency. See if we can get close enough to these to start mining. But yeah, I think the boost give weapons. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, StreetCornerBecky. I guess I never realized that. Guess that makes sense. Yep, compression's working. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Let's stop our ship here. Alright, so if anybody else wants to join us, we are in Ufine and we are mining. So I'm going to probably give another 5 minutes. So might have the slowest coffee maker in the world. So never quite sure if it's really done or not. So there's my mining hole. Nothing in the mining hole yet. Okay, they're returning right now. Oh, no, it's 60,000. I probably don't have to compress for a while. Did you see any more hockey playoff videos? The conference finals are all set now. Yes, so I did. So yes, I was very, very upset that the Maple Leafs did not make it. That was a disappointing defeat. But going to Game 7, they really got beat bad. They looked, the goalie especially, he looked horrible. He looked horrible. And honestly, a lot of the goals, though, I don't know that he could have stopped them. There was at least one. I mean, there was one off of a face-off. I mean, right off the face-off. Passed it back, shot, score. It was like the third one in a row. It was like, but I think at that point they had just been demoralized. So, and then of course they pulled the goalie when they were 4 goals down and ended up losing by 5 goals. So, as long as Edmonton don't win, yeah, well they're in the finals. So, but actually I don't want Florida. I don't want Florida to win again. I don't like them winning back to back. Honestly, not surprised. The reoccurring theme with them. Yep, they will have to break up their core group, try something different. Yeah, the thing is, I thought maybe this was the year since they had actually got to Game 7. As I mean, they really did well in Game 6. And, come back. And so I thought, okay. And it was home. I mean, of all things. So Canada needs to keep its streak. Yeah. Yeah, well, Edmonton's the only one in for Canada. So yeah, Florida, Dallas, and Carolina. So yeah, so really don't want to see Carolina win. And I'm not a big fan of Dallas, mostly just because I don't like Marchand. But yeah, I mean that nose. I had a boss whose last name was Marchand, but yeah, they were kind of Jekyll and Hyde, either great or terrible, and that's what it was. I mean, at Game 7, they looked horrible. I mean, for the shots on goal, I mean they were shots on goal was way unbalanced. I mean, Florida was ahead shots on goal the whole game. And I was just like, but that was the weird part. When they showed the highlights, all they showed was the Maple Leafs. And I thought, well, Florida's got 18 shots on goal. The Maple Leafs only got 6. And the only highlights I've seen are the 6 from the Maple Leafs. So as soon as St. Louis lost, I was like, anybody but Canada or Colorado. Yeah. Honestly, though, it's a Canadian sport, let's be honest. So it kind of seems bad that of the 4 teams, only one of them's Canadian. So, and Game 5-2 shutout and just worked badly. Yep. Yeah, like you said, it's either all or nothing. And they're gonna have to do something. But yeah, don't get me wrong, Marchand for Dallas. I mean, he's good, but man, what an arrogant! Oh my goodness, him and the other one, Ovechkin. I hate Ovechkin, so I kind of wanted the Capitals to win, but I didn't want Ovechkin to win because he's pretty arrogant as well. So, but yeah, it was funny because it's really panned out to be kind of a weird one. So, Canes and Stars. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Well, the Hurricanes, they've been there before, haven't they? I don't get why people dislike Ovechkin. I don't know why I dislike him. I really don't. I just do. I really can't explain it. It's kind of, it's weird because it really makes no sense. But I have, from the very first day I saw him, I was just like, I don't like that guy. And I don't know. I'm assuming it's jealousy because he's good. He's really good. But, which is no reason to dislike somebody. But, yeah, I just have always disliked him. And everybody I've talked to dislikes him too. So it didn't help that, everybody else didn't like him either. So, but you're right. I mean, he's never really done anything to, he's arrogant. But, what hockey player isn't, right? I mean, come on. If you can go out there and, get your rear end beat and, lose all your teeth and, still go on a press conference with a big old smile and, and no teeth. I mean, that's pretty, pretty proud. I was always thankful because hockey was my sport, and I was always thankful I didn't lose any teeth. But then again, I never played professionally where I had to take one for the team. So, but yeah, honestly, I couldn't tell you why I don't like him. It's just it makes zero sense. But yeah, Marshawn, I know I don't like him. I mean, he's way more arrogant than Ovechkin. But then also, I had a boss whose last name was Marchand, and I hated her with a passion. So he kind of got it because even though he's not related to her, he has her same last name. So, but like I said, it didn't help. It didn't help that he was also, a little full of himself, which he's good. He scored yesterday, so yeah, it was. So yeah, but yeah, Ovechkin. I really should probably give Ovechkin another try because he doesn't deserve the hatred. But every time I think about liking him and he does something, he'll be on a press conference or something, and I'll be like, kind of want to see a repeat of next year, just to see McDavid and Dressel lose again. Yeah, my only hope is that the games are good. Okay? At this point, I really don't care who wins. But my only hope is the games are good. If one of them is a sweep, you know, in the finals, I'll be, or the semifinals, I'll be super pissed because I'll be like, what? Because that really frustrates me. You get all the way to the semifinals and then you suck it up. So they're both dirty players. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 But then again, yeah, you just can't cheer for that. Yeah. Yeah. Then again, though, I don't know. Hockey's kind of. My wife was. They had so when I watched. There's a show on YouTube called Shaking Your Head where he talks about the most obnoxious things that happened in hockey this week, and I can't remember the guy's name that hosted, but he's pretty funny. He talks even faster than me, which is surprising. But he uh, he had one on this week with the goalie where the goalie, who was it for? I think it was Vegas's goalie. They one of the players ran into or was in his crease, and so he shoved him out of the crease. And so then the player came back in like the next play and ran over the goalie. And of course, the goalie jumped up, started fighting. The rest of the team started fighting. Of course, they gave a penalty to the goalie for roughing, which I thought was good. The guy who ran over him got a penalty as well. But yeah, I love it when goalies stand. I in the same way. I played goalie for a little bit. I was horrible goalie, but yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you gotta stand up for yourself. Otherwise, they're gonna walk all over you. And so there was like several of the games with the Maple, or several of those goals with the against the Maple Leafs yesterday, or I guess it wasn't yesterday. Maybe it was yesterday. I mean, the goalie. I mean, he was so screened. They were not clearing out the crease. I mean, and it was just ridiculous. And so. But yeah, so yeah, I've always give credit when the goalies stand up for themselves. I really like that. So yeah, mine too. Especially the ones that got some personality and say, hey, this is my crease. Your butt comes in here, your ass is mine. And that's what I was proud of him because that guy. I mean, he was literally standing in the goal. The offensive player from the other team, and he shoved him in his back out of the goal, and so. But yeah, exactly. Well, that's it. 90 miles an hour. Oof. I mean, yeah, that's not safe. That'll knock you out. All right, we got a rat incoming. I'm gonna see if I can take him out. See if I can take him out. But yeah, yeah, that's a whole different level of bravery. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because one of the teams at their home ice, they had the speed meter behind the goal, and so I thought that was pretty cool because you could see how fast the shots were. And yeah, several of them, 86, 87 miles. I'm like, holy mackerel! Ain't no wonder you can't see that. And then of course you got three people standing in front of you, including your own guys. I mean, I was really surprised how many goals were caused by the defense accidentally putting it in, you know? That was kind of like, yeah. I don't remember it being that like that in the past with so many goals with going off defensive players. But it's like now they're kind of aiming for the defensive players. So with the equipment, it's much better than long ago. But still, right. I mean, there's still some exposed spots. I mean, there was one. It might have been Vegas as well. I don't remember. I watched so many highlights. But there was one where one of the offensive players came in, slammed into the goalie, and his mask came off. And I'm like, holy cow. Yeah, that's a pretty big hit. It's knocking that mask off. That mask is on pretty good, you know, for good reason. Usually the goalie's the only one that still has teeth. So I remember the years where they made him wear face masks and the cages. And that actually went away pretty quick because they were all complaining they couldn't see. So, but yeah, the good old days. Oh my goodness, perfect timing. All right. Oh, you know what? What a moron. I don't have any crystals on. And I probably wouldn't have noticed I didn't have any crystals on if I hadn't had to pick up that stuff. What a moron. What a moron. What a maroon. All right. But yeah. Yeah, but you got to create chaos to get it. Yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, there were a lot of deflections. A lot of deflections. Why did you guys stop? Okay, you didn't stop. You're just taking a break. Okay, cool. But yeah, a lot of deflections. I mean, there was one that was just perfect. I think that was in the Toronto game as well. I mean, that shot came in and hit the offensive guy, I think it was actually Marchand, so it must have been Dallas. Marchand shot it, because that's why I was pissed, because they gave Marchand the goal. Marchand shot it, and it got deflected by a guy in front. And I mean, it was last-minute deflection. He deflected it just straight up, went in the corner. I mean, it was perfect. Just perfect. I forgot to ask yesterday what was the best food you had at the anniversary party. So we had lechon, which is where they cooked the whole pig. And it was a 30-pound pig. It was a huge pig. And I didn't get any of it until yesterday. So the lechon didn't arrive till late because it was coming from, honestly, it was surprising because it was actually coming from the closest place. But they ended up getting there later. And so everybody was bugging me to eat, you know, and the lechon wasn't there yet, which is what I was waiting on. And so finally I had to eat. And then, of course, the lechon arrived, and they said, okay, come on, eat lechon. And I'm like, no, I'm already full. You guys made me eat, you know, the other stuff. So, but we had, we had chicken. So there's lechon manok, which is chicken. Lechon is how they cook it. And so lechon manok, which is chicken, made the same way. And then lechon, the pork, which is the main lechon. And then, yeah, oh, man, they had a ton of food. Ton of food. Speaking of that, I'm hungry. So when I go down to get my coffee, I'll grab something to eat. But yeah, but yeah, that was definitely incredible. So yeah, Lechon was really good, and I have some left. So, but yeah, like I said, I didn't get any till yesterday because I'm one of those. In fact, they've all commented on it. So I'm only eating once a day here, and I don't know if it's because of the heat or I don't know what it is. I want to lose some weight, but I don't think it's that. So, and but yeah, and I am losing weight, so that's kind of nice. But yeah, the so I'll snack a little bit for breakfast. I'll have some puto, and have my coffee, and then I'll have a big lunch, and then I won't eat dinner. We'll just snack while we're watching TV or something or playing games, and so yeah, so but they've all commented on it. Hey, how come you guys only eat one meal? Like, that's just how we do it. That's not how we did it in America, but that's how we do it now in retired life. So yeah, my brother's sending me a message. Yeah. So for some reason, and I got to figure this out. So we have an Alexa, and we brought it with us to the Philippines, and it's working great. No problem. Tells us the weather, which is about all we use it for. Sometimes I ask her what time it is to see if she's connected to the internet. Sometimes I'll ask her to tell me a joke. Blah blah blah. But it's all of a sudden now, and I shouldn't say all of a sudden. I guess maybe this is the first one. So I guess there was a tornado watch, or there is a tornado watch right now in Kansas City. So she gave us this tornado warning for Kansas City, and I'm like, well, and I asked her, I said, Alexa, why would I give a damn about Kansas City? And so of course she didn't understand. She gave me the weather for Kansas City, and I'm like, no. When I asked her for the weather, she gives me local weather. But I guess somehow we're still on the alerts for Kansas City. So, but yeah, so I guess there's a tornado. Kansas City's under a tornado watch. Okay, so that's probably what it is. I haven't done that yet. I did log into the app to get her connect, because that's how you connect to the internet or to the Wi-Fi. But I must have missed that one. So okay, Dart, I'll give that a try. Thanks for that. But yeah, I was like, so yeah, when I got up this morning, there were 9 notifications, and normally she says it's some kind of shopping thing. And she says I'm not allowed to shop in your country, which I never let her shop for me anyway. So, but she said, I'm not allowed to shop in your country, but you can go search and do this, that. So she kind of tells me about deals. And so, but I'm like, yeah, I don't want that either. So I need to figure out how to turn that one off. But yeah, but this morning there were 9 notifications, and I figured that, it's shopping stuff. And no, it was, I guess there was a flood warning and a tornado warning and a severe thunderstorm warning, and then they's all expired earlier than they thought. So, they were all duplicated, and then, and I was like, oh, for crying out loud. But yeah, so I'll have to update it there. But it's weird, like I said, she knows, I guess she realizes where she's located. So, okay, I didn't realize they got hit. I had heard that there was a Iowa, Missouri thing, that there was a problem. And so, but I didn't realize it was St. Louis. Well, I hope Kicken's okay. Kicken's actually logged in. And Kicken's actually logged in. So, but yeah, hopefully Kicken's okay. He lives in St. Louis. So, oop, I don't want that one. No, I don't want to remove Veldspar. I just want to unlock it. Actually, let's go ahead and pick this stuff up. Since, yeah, this thing's not moving very fast with the mining drones, so. I'm west of St. Louis, but only got wind and rain. Okay, well, that's good. That's good, yeah. I'm not sure exactly where he is in St. Louis, but I know he's in St. Louis. We had tried to plan to get together before we left so that so we could do lunch or something, and it just didn't work out. So he doesn't get to Kansas City that often. So, but yeah, so now I'm going to make him come to the Philippines, which is even further. So, but yeah, I was like, oh crap, sounds like Holmes getting pummeled. But we had a really, really heavy thunderstorm here last night. Actually made the internet go out. We lost electric during the day for like, I don't know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It was really short. But we lost electric during the day with no rain. And then when it poured down rain, we didn't lose electric, but we lost internet. Legomaniax, good to see you today, buddy. And JKT, good to see you as well. So, sorry, I acknowledged your comment, but I didn't say good morning, so sorry about that. Appreciate you guys being here. So, but yeah, but it poured. And here in the Philippines, I don't know if it's because of the metal roofs or what, but the rain seems harder. I mean, it sounds like, when it rains here, it sounds like a hailstorm in Kansas City. I mean, it's coming. I couldn't watch TV because it was so loud. And then of course the internet went out, so I couldn't watch TV anyway. So, the internet was only out, I don't know, it was probably about 20 minutes. So, but I have started rebooting my router and stuff every Sunday to try and keep it from cutting out on me. So, yeah, if it's not insulated or padded, I bet it's loud. And that's probably what it is, because they don't use insulation here. And so that's one of the ones we've talked about doing with our roof, is insulating it to keep the heat out. Because they're metal roofs, so the sun hits it and, it just heats right up, and then that heat gets transferred. Ours is going to have vaulted ceilings, so probably won't be as big of a deal, but yeah, they don't use a whole lot of insulation here, so because they don't need to keep the heat in, like we do in America. But it is nice to be able to keep the cold in instead of letting it go out. But the cold actually goes to the bottom anyway. The heat rises, so probably that's why the insulation doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, from a sound perspective, it is loud. And so, but that's the first thing we do when the electric cuts out, is we look out the window to see if everybody's out or if it's just us, because kind of gun shy now with our meter having been burned out. I actually checked it this morning and the meter's still going strong. So yeah, we're definitely going to get charged this month. So true, but when you have AC going all the time, you want cold air to stay in. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. But yeah, see, these are all concrete, and so there's no room for insulation in the walls. And so, but they do have a different kind of building here that they're doing. It's called SRC, styrofoam reinforced concrete. And so it actually has a styrofoam center with a wire mesh over it and then concrete on top of that. And they say that's excellent for insulation and for keeping the cold in and lots of things. I mean, unfortunately there aren't a whole lot of places here that can do it. They make panels of it, and of course your house has to be, the same size as the panels, which it never is. But they're also made way in the north, so shipping those is expensive. But I did see a vlogger that we watched on YouTube, that he actually did his own. He bought the styrofoam, cut it to what he wanted, kind of laid it all out, on his house, and then put the mesh over top and then the concrete. And he taught his construction team to do that. And he said it made a huge difference in his house. It keeps it a lot cooler, keeps the heat out and cool in. And so that's kind of nice. So yeah, we were looking at that, and that's one we'll probably look at. The guy we already interviewed, we didn't ask him about that, but I'm pretty sure he can't. He's pretty standard hollow block. The big problem with us is, so where our lot is, there is a hollow block builder, hollow block factory, I guess you'd call it. They're not really factories, but it's like a house, but it's where they build the hollow blocks. They're molded, and it's literally one lot over from us. And so we've got We've got our lot, then there's a lot next to us, and then the lot on the other side of it is a hollow block manufacturer. So we have zero delivery charge for the hollow block. So it kind of makes it hard to justify doing something else because, you know, we're not going to pay for hollow block delivery. But yeah, in that case, it's still one of those where it's like, well, you know, I want it to be cool, so. But yeah. But yeah, we are looking at another one. In fact, I got to send them an email today. We're looking at another company that's a much, much bigger builder. I mean, they're building all over the Philippines. They've got all their own equipment. You know, I'm sure they're going to be more expensive, which is why I didn't want to look at them. But my wife really wants to look at them. And they might be able to do it. So that'll be one of the questions we'll ask them. So, and it actually, I guess it turns out to be less. It's actually more cost efficient, not only from a cooling perspective, but from a building perspective. The problem is you can't find anybody that knows how to do it. So, you know, but once you find somebody that knows how to do it, the styrofoam takes up a lot of the space that they would normally do the hollow blocks with. And so you end up not enough load in your modules. What?
A module has run out of charges.
I don't run out of charges. I don't know which one I had on there. Oh, hold on, my wife's calling. You guys there? So yeah, it looks like I ran out of charges, which I don't know how that happened. So sorry. I've got a mining equipment preservation, but I do not have the mining equipment mining formant, which I don't understand. So I build these, so 3 jumps. 6 million each. Holy mackerel. 49 million. I wonder what it is in Dodixie. Mining, Foreman, Burst 2. I don't think I have them here. Let me check. Maybe I have some here and I just didn't pick them up. Nope. Yeah, what do you want to bet? I don't think they're ones I build, though. Nope. Yeah, they are. Mining Foreman Burst blueprint. I'll be damned. I'll be damned. Of course, they need a bunch of other stuff. Man. Yep, so yeah, we'll definitely need to get some of those built. Well, that sucks. Alright, well, I need Mining Foreman Burst 1. And that one, oh, that takes synapses. I remember. I don't think I have very many synapses. Oh, I do. Let's do, hold on, how many do we need? We need 10, we don't have any. Alright, so. Compression's still on at least. I did make sure I had enough fuel. But. Alright, so it looks like I got enough to do those. So let's put those in. And then that will, ow, I bet you I didn't put it in. Damn it. Alright, well, too bad. So there's my nuclear. There's my photon microprocessor. What the heck is that for? Damage control. Ooh. Damage control. Damage control. 3 out of 10. Yeah, that sucks. And then there's the prorater. So the prorater is for... Now, one of them is for blue-gray, so I'll have to get that one out there. Alright, so... Working on the Imicus. Okay. Alright. 7 will probably give me enough for mining. I don't know how long... Yeah, they're all like 3 jumps away. Alright. Drugs. Looks like so much fun keeping up with all those build jobs. Yeah. That's not the ammo. Yeah. Yeah, no. Oh, it's not the ammo? Yeah, it is. No, that's the ammo. Yeah, that's the ammo. Yeah. Now, module can be loaded a variety of charges. Nope, you're right. You're right. When you're right, you're right. Oh, for crying out loud. Why did you... I didn't want to close the damn thing. You're absolutely right. There's the charge. Optimization charge. Yeah, so that's a charge. Field enhancement. Heavy water. Oh, that's good. I didn't realize that was in there. Yeah, so of course the heavy water needs to be in the resources one now, because that's where these are. So I must have bought these. Wait, no, that's the... Yes, that's the module. That's the module. So yes. No. ISO and something else I can't remember. Yep. It does have hard water here. Yeah, ISO and TRIT. So, but yeah. And it doesn't look like there's a tier 2 for that. So I should just be able. So let me do charge.
The asteroid is depleted.
Alright, so let's do this. Alright, so fine.
The asteroid is depleted. The asteroid is depleted.
Why? Yeah. I understand the asteroid's depleted. Quit harassing me. Oh, too far away. Ah, I don't have the boost anymore. What a freaking moron. So yeah, so I want to look on the market for the charge. Oh, Lord, give me strength. Reservation charge. Okay, so let's look here. Okay, that's gone. Really? Well, that was quick. Compression's still on. So what I'm probably gonna do, need me to log in. No. Thanks, Jerry Can. I appreciate it. No. I'll get her. I'll just send Craig in to pick some up. It'll be fine. Yeah. I appreciate it. But yeah, not a worry. I just gotta find them. All right. Alright, so we'll get him going. Now, I want the charge. So, market. Oh, man, I'm really having trouble today. Oh, nothing with mining charge, but let's try charge. Yeah. Don't want blueprints. Ammunition and charges. Kinda. Not that kind of ammunition. Okay. No. Okay. So let's do this. Mining equipment preservation charge. Okay, so then let's do this. Let's go here. There we go. Mining laser optimization, mining field enhancement charge. That's what I think we want. 4.7 million. 4.7 thousand. Well, that's not bad. So 563. All right. So we want, this is the one we want, right? Compact bundle nanites. Range of the mining laser. That's one. And then we also want the other one. So yeah, we want to buy both of those. Okay, cool. Cool. So cool. Did you log in? I don't want you to quit your Baldur's Gate, buddy. Alright, so let's send Kragan. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what I was thinking. Alright, so these are the two I want. Haley. This one's at Haley too? Yep. Alright. Let's buy 20 of these. And 20 of these. Alright. And then let's set destination. Alright. Cool. Close. Alright. Hopefully I got enough room for him. Yeah, I got enough room. Alright. Cool. So let's go here. Here. Okay. No worries, Jerry Can. I got it. I got it. I'm gonna... Oop. No. That's Kragan. I flew away, so now I can't compress. Which makes sense. 9-8. Yeah, so preservation charge wasn't really. That just makes the crystal last longer, so. But, alright, ads are gone. Thanks. Yeah, I don't have the heavy water in the right container. I have heavy water there, but I don't have the heavy water in the right container, so it won't let me build them. So, but yeah, when I go back to Venolin, I'll fix that. That's the only problem with using containers to organize stuff. Can't take stuff out of containers outside the system. Can't put stuff into containers outside the system. So. There's Jetsia. There's Jetsia. Oh, holy cow! Thanks, Jet. Thanks, Jerry Can. I'll get those back to you. Yeah, I'll get those back to you. And this one's optimization, field enhancement. There we go. All right. Yeah, because Mako's not using any charges anyway, so. So we must burn through them pretty quick. For some reason, I thought it really wasn't burning through them that long, but. Yeah, I only bought 20, so that wouldn't have worked anyway. Thanks, Jerry Can. I owe you. I'll get them back to you. See, that's above and beyond. Above and beyond. Yeah, so I probably want to build like 500 of them. Maybe 1,000. Let's see. Oh, yep. So that'll build 5,000. So everyone builds 500. I got it. Okay. Oof, well, that's pretty good. Yeah, but I haven't really enhanced much. So the fact that I already ran out means it's burning through them pretty quick. So yeah, so. Yeah, we'll look at that. All right, cool. We're gonna do resources and ammo. Yep, so we'll just move the heavy water there. But yeah, I have those. I just need to queue them up. Actually, I need to check. Those are BPOs. Well, they research 10 and 20. Excellent. All right. Yeah. So I only bought 20. Craig had only bought 20, so that wouldn't last very long either. See, I was thinking of them like mining crystals, so yeah, stuff like that runs out the worst time. Always does. Always does. Always does. Never fails. Never fails. Never fails. So yeah, so I've got Blue-gray's prorator. Now I'm gonna have to make some mining charges. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's the way it always works. I'm gonna run down I'm gonna run down and get my. Let's do this. Let's pick up this stuff. Of course, the 20 is not gonna do us much good. Bye. 980 by 980. That's mining laser optimization, and this one 980. There we go. That may work a little better. So then we'll throw these in here. And we're going to set this back to Fiend. But yeah, I'm going to run down and grab my coffee, because I'm sure it's probably cooling off now. So I will be right back, you guys. Stay frosty. I'll be right back. Set the autopilot. Oh. I'll be right back, guys. Hey. Oh. Sorry, I banged. Omega, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Forgot to save. Oh, man. Coffee is an important part of the process, yeah. And of course, I ran out of sugar. So I had to find where my wife moved the sugar and get that refilled. So that was always good. Yeah, so good to see you, Omega. We're mining if you want to join us. I sent you an invite earlier, but you were away. Got any syrup? Love syrup and coffee. I haven't tried the syrup. No. They're not, it's weird. They're not syrup people here. So yeah, it's kind of weird. All right, so let's actually, yeah, let's let me warp to Falstaff. So I have him if he needs him. Otherwise, I'll contract him back to Jerry Can. So, all right. Yeah, so how long do they run? Or doesn't say. I'm just curious. Compress. Stack. All right. Was eating dinner. I understand. I understand. I'm going to get you another invite. So, anybody else in the stream wants an invite? I'm in heck at the moment. No worries. No worries. I thought I put too much sugar in my coffee, but doesn't taste like it. Doesn't taste like it. 22 jumps. Ouch. Ouch. Oh, that's not good. These guys. I'm really gonna figure out. They've got this way of tying things here that just drives me bananas. They tie everything. Which I'm one of those, I chew my nails, so I try to keep my nails cut pretty short. I can never get anything untied here. And I'm like, I told my wife, stop tying stuff. We've got bread ties, we've got all kinds of stuff, you know, newfangled stuff. But they're all low tech here. All low tech here. But yeah. Alright. So yeah, so I've got Puto. But they're tiny Puto. They're not my usual Puto. So the people we bought the lechon from for the anniversary celebration, I guess, gave us Puto as well. And so these little tiny Putos. So, which are good, but I'm used to the bigger ones, so. And the weird part is these ones are different colors. And there's white and yellow. These don't have the cheese on top, but there's also red ones. But they all taste the same. So yeah. So the color really doesn't affect the flavoring. It's just color. Which, okay, why bother? So yeah. But, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right. Well, you know what? Stop. Let me jettison these. Well, let's see how close he is. Yeah. Let me jettison these. Then I'll approach. Oh, just at the limit of my grasping. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. All right. Get Kragan in position. Start mining. But yes, it is fresh made. So they gave us that. I think they also gave us pancette, which is one of my favorites. The problem is my wife's pancette is what I really like. And so everybody else's is kind of substandard. So, but yeah, here's one of the red ones. It's probably easier to make the smaller one. It's my niece that actually makes the others that I eat. And so those are kind of nice. So stop. Jackson, what's up, buddy? Stuff in his face. Yeah, I got started a little late this morning. It was a very unorganized morning. And then I'm doing the boosting. So of course they're really substandard boosts. And then I ran out of boost crystals or charges. So Jerry Can had to take pity on me and bring me some. So just got back to your apartment. Ouch, that is a long day. Ow, sorry about that, buddy. Sorry about that, buddy. That sucks. That sucks. That is a long day. Holy mackerel. You were in New York an extra day. Okay. Well, that's good. At least you got to spend some more time with Mom. Got to work in the morning. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, that sucks. Well, then you need to get some sleep. Well, I appreciate you stopping in. But yeah, you need to get some sleep. Of course, you probably need to wind down because that drive. So this one actually has a little bit of cheese on it, but it's like shredded cheese. I don't know if you guys can see that. But yeah, company bigwigs coming in. Oh yeah, you want to be there for that. Good time to get noticed, get a promotion. I know anytime I drive like that, I always have to wind down before I can go to sleep. Always got to wind down before I can go to sleep. Definitely don't want a promotion. There you go. I don't know. Maybe they give you a promotion and allow you to work remotely from New York. Mm-mm. Stranger things have happened. Already did that job temporarily for 6 months. Was a shit job. Yeah, most management jobs are. Been there, done that. I'd have less time to see mom, way more stress, and who gets the extra money? Yeah, Uncle Sam, exactly. Kind of like a casino. House always wins. Government always makes out. No matter what. No matter how much you make, they get their percentage. Get their percentage. Well, here the government still gets their percentage, but they normally just take it right out of your hand here. Corruption is pretty blatant here. But yeah. We were talking about that. So week before last, I think, was the election. They were advertising on YouTube that they would buy your vote. I'm like, and I said to my wife, I said, isn't that illegal? She said, yeah, it's illegal. I said, but they're advertising on YouTube. There's proof that they've done it. She said, yeah, nobody cares. I said, nobody cares? So yeah, most of the people here are so poor that the only way they survive is by having their vote bought. So yeah. Here they have a lot of dynasties where the whole family is in government. So the father is the mayor, or the father's the governor, or the father's a senator, and then the mother's a mayor, and the son is the governor, and the daughter is the assistant governor. And so yeah, they'll pay you 100,000 pesos, which is like $2,000, if you'll vote for the whole family. And yep. And then the other thing they do is they're allowed it's a 3-year term, and I think they're allowed 2 terms like ours. And then like $2,000 to Filipino is life changing. So, but yeah, they're allowed 2 terms, 3 years each. So they have elections every 3 years. So then after they're senator for 2 terms, they'll go and they'll become governor for 2 terms, and then they'll become mayor for 2 terms, and so they just switch from one job to the other, and it's like a popularity contest, or and so what happens is I was like, yeah, but if they pay everybody 100,000 pesos, that, and somebody did the math, and they're like, yeah, it's like 4 billion pesos that they end up paying for votes, but it says that the average, I guess, elected official from corruption ends up making like 50 billion pesos in a 3-year period. So if they pay 4 billion, it's kind of like an investment. If I pay 4 billion and I win, I'll make 50 billion in payoff. And unfortunately here, the phrase that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer is very evident. But yeah, so yeah, it's kind of weird. They've got a lot of people that are trying to stand up against it, but unfortunately, when you're really really poor, somebody offers you that kind of money. Like I said, most Filipinos don't see 100,000 in their lifetime from working. And so yeah. Actually, they probably see it because most Filipinos average about 1,000 pesos a month. So that would be 100 months, which is what, like 10 years? So yeah, so they probably see it in their lifetime. But yeah. But for 1 vote, well, or 8 votes, really 1 vote, their vote, they can make 10 years worth. So yeah, I think I am using T1 mining drones. Yeah, this is why I don't boost very often, is because I'm horribly unprepared. And my boosts are horrible. I mean, I think Kragen's only getting like 28 kilometers, where he normally gets 15 kilometers. Or I think when you do it, he gets like 45. So yeah, it's kind of... But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. We got to take what we can get. So, Jerry can. He's playing Baldur's Gate, but, you know, I got to give him credit, though. He logged in to give me some charges. So, logged in, gave me some charges, logged back out. So, yeah. And then it shows that Kickin is online, but he must be asleep. Of course, I don't know. They said St. Louis got hit with a tornado, so he's in St. Louis, so maybe he was affected by that. So, but yeah, if anybody else wants to join us, you guys are welcome to join us. We are here in Eufene. I'm sitting here picking my nose. Not mining, but working on that. Yeah, we'll be lucky to kill one belt. Baldur's Gate is on sale again. It's on sale? Oh shit. Well, if it's on sale, then I might have to check it out. I've got it on my wish list. I didn't see it on sale. Normally sends me an email when something goes on sale. Yeah, 20% off, but still, I think that's the best I'm probably going to get. Yeah, I'll probably buy it today. Got a notification today. Yeah, I got to see how long it lasts. Till May 27th, so it's like a Memorial Day thing. So yeah, I've got a week. All right. So yeah, I'll definitely get it because I keep telling him we're gonna do some of that. It's got online co-op, so we could do an online co-op. So and he'd be one to actually co-op with because he's got a whole fleet, a whole thing to himself. So I'm making a paladin of Saloon. There you go. Saloon or Celine. And I'm always horrible with the pronunciations. I forget, is BG3 a one-time buy or subscription? No, it's a one-time buy. Yeah, it's normally 60 bucks, 60 US. And it's down, it's 20% off, so I think it's 47 now. 47.99 or something. So yeah, Paladin of Saloon. There you go. Yeah, so it's 47.99. So it's normally 59.99, 47.99 now, which honestly I think is the highest discount I've ever seen. 20%. I usually wait for more, but yeah, that's one where and Jerry Can speaks highly of. Everybody speaks highly of. It's got an overwhelmingly positive rating. So I want that roll. There you go. Want that roll. Oh, I don't want that one. Those are both feldspar. What are you doing? All right. So yeah, well, I'll have to figure out what I'm gonna play. But yeah, we'll do that one. So tempted to log in. Don't do that. Because if you log in, then you'll be up. We'll be up to. So we're in Eufene. Me Smo, if you're on the stream. But yeah. All right.
The asteroid is depleted. The asteroid is depleted. The asteroid
Yeah.
is depleted.
That's the problem with using mine or drones, is every time one depletes, it has to tell me 19 times that the asteroid has depleted. I get it. It's okay. But anyway. So yeah, Jackson, the wife and I celebrated our 18th wedding anniversary this past weekend. Took the whole family, 25. Actually, to be honest, it was closer to 30. 30 people to a resort. And it was really nice. It was really nice. It was good. It was good. We had, I was telling these guys, we had lechon. We had a 30-pound pig that they cooked. I mean, this thing was huge. And it was delicious. Still is delicious. I'm still enjoying it. So that was really nice. And then, yeah, we had so much food, way too much. Yeah, well, so it was a house that was a resort. So we didn't have the whole resort. We had one house, but it was a house with, I don't know, 5 bedrooms. And 5 bedrooms, a large indoor pool, pool table. Yeah, still no bacon. Right, no bacon. Right. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, they cook it. It's a special way that they cook it, and makes the skin really crispy, like peanut brittle. It's kind of the consistency of the skin. And so yeah, so that's what it crackling. Yep. So yeah. But yeah, it was really good. And then yeah, we also had lechon manok, which is chicken cooked the same way, and that was really good. And then they had adobo, and yeah, they had shrimp and huge shrimp, and so they had clams, which I didn't get to try, but I was told were really good. I think we have some here, so I'll probably try them. The wife is in Manila today, possibly today and tomorrow. Um, but yeah, Mismo, if you're on the stream, you're always welcome, Mismo. But yeah, so I'm anxious to try the clams. The thing is here, so with the shrimp, they don't clean the shrimp. They don't devein them. They don't deshell them. They just cook them that way, and then because they like to eat with their hands, they're big handsy people, and so yeah, so I'm having some issues with my rig. I had a crash during my stream earlier today. I think I need to reboot. No worries, no worries, Omega. You're all good. Oh, we got rats. We got rats. We got rats. I'm supposed to be protecting everybody. I'm not protecting nobody. Yeah. Of course. Okay, unlock. Unlock. Be fine if they attack me, which they probably won't. Yeah, you got to clean them bad boys. Yeah, so, and the same thing with the clams. The clams are still on their shells. And so which is kind of weird. which I think in America it's more of a, we clean it because then that's less flavoring that's lost on the on something you don't eat. But these guys, I mean, they don't eat the shells, but they will suck on the shell to get the flavoring off. And of course, they suck on the I guess the skin of the shrimp. But yeah, so in order to clean the shrimp and all that stuff, and so watching Andor inspired me to buy Star Wars Outlaws. See, I haven't even looked at Star Wars Outlaws. I just started Star Wars: The Old Republic. Now you're talking about another one. What the heck? You guys are killing me. All right, rats are gone. Let's see if we can salvage these up. Of course, we're not mining. We're sitting here with our thumb up our butt, like usual. All right. Yeah, I just finished Andor on Sunday morning, binge watched the last 6 episodes. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm boycotting Disney, but I gotta find a way to see it, so. I really want to see the Obi-Wan series. I've heard such good things about it. Compress. I don't know why it didn't compress the first time, but. It ties everything in. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of. I just wish it wasn't Disney that did it. So I don't want to support the woke agenda. So, but I may have to just to. So what I need to do is I probably need to get like the free month and watch everything in that month, which means I got to send the wife away for a while because she's not a Star Wars fan. Not a Star Wars fan. So. Not a Star Wars fan. So. Did you rewatch Rogue One after finishing Andor, Megan? Yes, I enjoyed Rogue One. All right, so Omega's rebooting. I hate crashes. Oh, what happened? So that's weird. Not sure what happened there. I thought I was salvaging, but I guess not. Yeah, I will this week. Then you'll love season 2. Yep. Probably on Thursday. There you go. There we go. Now it's actually working. Now it's working. I hate that they do it that way, though. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably more correct, Omega. But yeah, I hate that they did it that way. But that's the way the original series did it, so they figured, oh, may as well stick with what works. Keep them guessing back and forth. But yeah, I might have to pay for a Disney subscription. Much as I hate to admit it. All right, so we got all the loot, all the salvage. So now we can target these again. All right. They didn't think episode 1-3 would sell. Yeah, true, true. And honestly, back in the 70s, they really didn't. I mean, it became more of a cult classic later. So, but yeah, I remember Alec Guinness. They had an interview with Alec Guinness, and they showed it, and he was like, I had no idea what the story even was. They just told me it was, it was a Western in space, and I wasn't working, so I figured, what the hell? But I figured, okay, well, they're gonna pay me at least, even if it doesn't make any money, and so, and so he said I had no idea that it would become what it became. Luckily, it did before he passed, but yeah. But yeah, the good old days when people could make movies thinking they were gonna fail, but they made them anyway, right? Now they only make movies when they're guaranteed success, and they're usually crap. That's kind of the problem. I want to boycott Disney, but they're still making good stuff. So it's a bunch of different love stories interlaced with each other. Yep, yep. Yeah, so yeah, you guys weren't on yesterday, so I got a different back scratcher here. This is my selfie stick, or actually it's really my wife's selfie stick, but this is my back scratcher. So Dracborne, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Matt Damon had a great response on why that is with the movie industry now. He answered that question on Hot Ones. I'll have to check that out. All centered around Anakin. We're starting with him. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'll check that out, Dracborne. Thanks for being here today. Appreciate it. All right, keep an eye on stuff so nothing. Okay, reboot. I thought you already rebooted. All right. Man, that's a heck of a rig. Takes in half an hour to reboot. That's powerful stuff. I need to check some of those free movie sites to see if they have the Disney movies, so I don't have to subscribe to Disney. So shutting down stuff and checking a few items that stopped working. All right, good luck. We'll be here when you get back. Got to shut down the fusion reactor in his basement. Yeah, that's got to be what it is. I was like, holy mackerel. He logged off of Eve like 10 minutes ago. Like, it's got a whole nuclear reactor going on there. So rumor has it that my chair should be here next week. One of my family members somehow is able to check on the status. If I give him the package ID, they're able to check on it. And I haven't quite figured out how. Molten salt reactor, there you go. I haven't figured out how they do that. I asked them to show me, and they said they would, but they didn't. So, but yeah, not that it matters. We've only got 2 sets of packages left. So, actually, that's not true. So it turns out we've got 3. We sent one on 314. We sent one on. So we sent 13 boxes on 314, 10 boxes on 328, and 1 box on 4/5. So 2 of them are going to come together because they only ship once a month. So I think the 328 and the 4/5 will be together, but we'll see. So, but yes, that will be huge. That will be a huge celebration on stream because this, the throne is completely unacceptable. Beautiful chair, horrible to sit in for more than 15, 20 minutes. And this plastic chair is now starting to really take its toll on my rear end as well. I don't have much of a rear end to begin with. So yeah, so it's one thing I've never been blessed with. I like big butts and I cannot lie. Those other brothers can't deny. So yeah, I don't have a big butt. So never been blessed with that one. But yeah, that will be huge. That will be huge. So definitely an on-stream celebration for that. Plus, my green screen will be with it, which I'm anxious to get set up so that I can get rid of this software compression, which is always causing problems. Or not software compression, but software masking, I guess you'd call it, which is working pretty good, but yeah. And my back scratcher is also in there, so I'm anxious to get that as well, since for some reason I always have an itch on my shoulder blade right where I can't reach. I tried to check today, but it turns out I can't even see it. When does your Starlink kit come? Yeah, well, I think what's going to end up happening is, since Adele's sister is in from Japan, we're planning to go to Baguio, which is another province in the north. And so it's a colder province. It's in the mountains. And so her sister's never been there. Of course, I've never been there. So we're going to go to Baguio. We're taking several members of the family, of course. And we're going to Baguio. So I'll probably have at least 1 or 2 days of the stream where I won't stream, because we'll probably be up there for a couple days. And I'm thinking when I go up there, I'm going to try and buy the kit and bring it back. And then just lie to them and say, hey, I'll give them the address of whichever, Airbnb we're staying at. And if it doesn't already have Starlink, which it probably does. And bring the kit back with us. Because I think once I have the kit, I will be able to connect to the network. It's just they won't let me buy the kit because I'm in the sold out area. And so if I go to another area and buy the kit, fine. But I think you have to give an address when you buy the kit. And so we'll have to see. But I did get an announcement that they're raising the price here in the Philippines. So instead of 2,700 pesos a month, which is about $50, they're raising it to 3,700 pesos a month, which is about $70, which not a problem. I paid $70 for my Google Fiber back in America, so that's more than affordable. But I think the reason they're doing it is because it is sold out and there's a lot of people that aren't using it. They bought it just to have it as a backup. And so what they're doing is, because they're raising the price, they're also saying if you've got your kit within the past 30 days, you can return it for a full refund and cancel your service and get a full refund. If it's been more than 30 days, you can return it and get a 50% refund. But they're trying to, I guess, it seems like they're not able to, overcome the sellout. So they're trying to recoup some of the kits so that they can sell them to people like me. So, but yeah, we'll see. Because if that's the case, it should work out pretty good. So, but like I said, I don't know if they've got things in place to prevent me from doing that. But unfortunately, I figure worst case, I should be able to bribe somebody. So, like I said, I was planning on bribing one of my neighbors, but I still haven't figured out which one of them has it. So, but yeah. Honestly, though, and I shouldn't say this, but the last 2 weeks, last week and this week, hasn't been bad. It's actually worked out pretty good. So I restart my router and my Ethernet connection every Sunday. Grease that palm with bacon. Yeah, if I had bacon, I could get anything I want. You know, like you said, I may have to do it like a dehumidifier type thing, and make some bacon, and then I could just bribe everyone for everything. Because, like I said, my wife went crazy for bacon. What's up, Blue Gray? Good to see you. Your prorator is done. So as soon as I get back to Venlin, I will send it to you. If you want, I can take it to Jita and send it to you from there or wherever you want. But yeah, I will send it to you. But yeah. So I just noticed this morning when I was messing with some stuff. So yeah, we're mining, and I ran out of. I'm the one boosting, which is really crappy boost, because I don't have this. I don't have the skills like our buddy, Jackson. And all right. Well, maybe what I'll do is I'll give you the one I have here, and then I'll bring that one back. So because this one's close to Doe Dixie, so maybe we'll do that. You can use the covert ops cloak. Yeah. I always make sure. That's why I keep my porpoise here so I can boost. So, okay, cool. Yeah, so I've got a covert ops cloak on it, and micro warp drive, and I think some other things. But yeah, so I'll give you the one I have here. It's already equipped. I'll bring it to Doe Dixie and drop it off for you. And then I'll refit one that I just built and bring it back out here. So that'll work. So yeah, I'll work on that off stream today. You know, wife is out of town. Wife is in Manila, so her sister's in from Japan. She tied her vacation in with our anniversary, so that worked out good. And so her husband passed. About a year ago. And so she's trying to work out her Social Security, since it seems she gets his Social Security. And so they're headed to the Social Security Administration, the Filipino Social Security Administration today. And they left at 5 a.m. this morning. Because when you go to a government facility here in the Philippines, you need to pack a lunch. Because it's probably going to be an all-day affair. And so, yeah, so they went there, and she's going to try and get all that straightened out, see how much money she has, see if she can build a house and retire. And then my wife is going to try to open a bank account, which will be good. And I've been working on a suite of Alpha Explorers for all races, scanners, relic, and data. Excellent. 11 fits. That's pretty good. No worries, Jackson. And so, yeah, so, and then my wife's going to try and they have another one called Pag-ibig, which is, I don't know what it would equate to in America. It's kind of a housing authority. You can take a loan from it to get a house. And so, she paid money into it, so she's going to try and get that straightened out and get it cashed out, see how much money she's got in there. And, she never used it. And, so yeah, so she's going to do that. So they're thinking that it's probably going to be 2 days, which means I got 2 days to myself. So yeah, so I don't want to say I'm excited because it'll be the first time she's ever watched my stream, but yeah, I should be able to get some game plan done, or more likely sleep, because we didn't sleep much. We didn't sleep much at the resort. I recall you were looking into that. So did you look into any music for the stream? So I have it. I have it ready. Only thing I've got to work out is the track. So in order to do music on the stream, I have to set it up to a different track. And so yeah, that might be the one that I'm doing. So no, that's a different one. There you go. So I have a YouTube guy playing in the background. Yep. So yeah, I don't have any music on yet because I can't port it to YouTube or leave it on Twitch if the music is in there. So I have to set it up so that the music goes to a track that doesn't go in the recording. And there's a video on it. It sounds pretty easy. I gotta spend a couple hours doing it, and I haven't gotten around to that. So, but yes, that is something on the agenda as well. And then I think I've looked into that Tangia Dungeon, so I'm gonna get that added. You guys can spend your points on that. I want to add some sound effects to wake up Kicking if he's on the stream when he's boosting, or Jackson when he's boosting. Everybody suggested the shield alarm, much louder. Yeah, well, the husband, so that's kind of a long story, but the husband was actually cheating on her and had actually left her for, I don't know, an 18-year-old. My sister-in-law is definitely not 18. She's, I think, 60. Yeah, she's got to be at least 60. So she was pretty pissed. Well, then the husband died. But of course, he was still married to her. There's no divorce in the Philippines. So she thought, because of the situation, she was not going to be able to retire. And then Social Security called her and said, "Hey, you got money from your husband." So it kind of worked out. So, but yeah, that's pretty common here. The women outnumbered the men. I think it's 5-1 now. It used to be 4-1. Now it's 5-1. So there are 5 women for every man. So the men are notorious cheaters. And so I get accused all the time by my wife for it, even though I'm not Filipino. But there are a lot of women here. A lot of women, which is why, women are at the moment second to mangoes in exports. So yeah, the Manila Embassy, when my wife went through the Manila Embassy. Dracborne, thanks for the subscription, buddy. Appreciate it. You're awesome. But yeah, when my wife went through the Manila Embassy in 2006, yeah, 2006, she went through the Manila Embassy. They were processing 1,000 women a day for the Manila Embassy for fiance or spouse visas. And I'm pretty sure it's tripled from them now. So hers was a fiance visa, and ours took exactly 6 months. They're saying the fiance visa now is taking closer to 2 years. And so, yeah, so it's kind of ridiculous. But yes, there are a lot of women here. The women outnumber the men. There are a lot of single women here. So, and so, yes. And there are a lot of single, beautiful women here. So, my wife was single. I met her. She was 39 when we started talking. And I was 38. 37. Yeah, 37. She's 2 years older than me. And should be able to do that math. That's really not hard math, right? But But yeah. And so yeah, so that's definitely you can get a really good woman here. There's also quite a few scammers here too, so you got to be careful. But mine was a really good one. So I lucked out. So, but yeah, so from that perspective, any of you looking for a significant other, definitely let me know. I still have family members, nieces, nephews if you go that way, and I can hook you up. So nephews probably not so much because they have their pick of women here. So, but it's also kind of ironic because even with the pick of women, some of my nieces, some of my nephews have made some pretty poor choices. So, which I don't understand. But love is blind, they say. So yeah. But yeah, but yeah, they're like I said, they're probably doing close to 3,000 women a day through the Manila embassy for visas, fiance or spousal, and kind of ridiculous, kind of ridiculous. But big business when you got that many women that are unmarried women. So. But what else? So yeah, they've got my wife's got one sister that's not married. And then she's the only one married to an American. Her sister from Japan, who just got back from Japan, or she's only here for a month and she goes back to Japan, but her husband is half Japanese. That's why they were able to move to Japan and work there. Her widow husband. So, widow husband? No, her deceased husband. So, but yeah, he was a real piece of work. So, I'm pretty sure he was cheating on her for the whole time they were married. So, but yeah, that was a different one. So, but yeah, it actually worked out in her favor. So because I guess he was with an 18-year-old when he's in his 60s, 70s, and ended up giving him, I think, an aneurysm. And so I don't know if that's what gave him the aneurysm, but he died from an aneurysm. And so that was good. She was not considered a suspect, which was good. Wife's always considered a suspect, but yeah. And so, and turns out that, since he was still married to her, she's benefiting from it. So that's good because he had paid in a lot to their Social Security here. So she's going to get his Social Security, which is pretty good. So, because she was afraid she'd never be able to retire. So, but yeah. And unfortunately, that's a common story here in the Philippines. My wife's eldest brother, who has passed, he actually had 2 wives here in the Philippines. And so, 2 families. He had 3 kids. 3 kids with the first wife, which was kind of an arranged marriage. And I think 4 kids with the second wife, which was, his love. And so that was when I came to visit her the first time, she was like, "Oh, my family's got a big secret and blah blah blah," and I was really worried because I thought she was going to tell me she was a man, which was kind of a showstopper. And so when she told me that it was her brother had been had 2 wives, illegally, and 2 families, I was like, "Well, that's not a big deal." And she's like, "Really?" I'm like, yeah, two whole families is not that common in America. And 2 wives is, that's several people try to get away with that, but I have enough trouble keeping 1 happy. What the hell would I want with 2? But yeah. And most of the family, actually, I think all the family didn't know until he passed about the second family. So, So yeah, so she was really worried that was going to be a showstopper, and I was like, yeah, no, that's not a problem. Definitely not an issue. But I'd never met him. He passed before her and I met. Her father passed when she was 11. So her mom raised the whole family, and I did meet her mom. Her mom was one to be thing. So I guess if he took care of both of them, yep, and he did. He did. Yeah, he did. He didn't see his kids from the first marriage. So that, like I said, the first marriage was kind of an arranged marriage. The family had arranged it, and so that was kind of bad. So one of my son-in-laws is half Filipino. His mom is in Manila to marry off his older brother to a girl that she set him up with online. There you go. There you go. Yep. Yeah, like I said, there are a lot of beautiful women here that have never known a man, never been near a man, and so because they outnumber them so much, it's crazy. So yeah, so it's something to think about. But yeah, I'm planning. In fact, my brother-in-law that's been helping us out with everything, our driver, our gardener, our everything. He was he's he has I guess you'd call her an adopted daughter who's in her 30s. I think she told us she's going to be 33, and so real beautiful girl. And I've been looking at her for my son once his mother dies, hopefully any day now. Sorry, that was horrible, but I do mean it. But yeah, then I'm gonna probably ship him over here and introduce him to a good Filipina that can straighten his butt out. So, but if he was in America, he would have gotten a reality TV show on TLC. There you go. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure they're trying to make some deal with P. Diddy now. Tell his story on TV. Seriously, guys. Only in America. Only in America. But yeah, she was all worried about the family's dark secret, and I was like, that's not a big deal. So she was like, whew. Yeah, that whole Diddy thing is crazy, yes. And the problem is I think we haven't heard even the tip of the iceberg in who was involved. I think we're going to find out here pretty quick that there were a lot more people involved that nobody knows about. Now, there's a lot of people that used to be pretty vocal that have shut the hell up ever since he got arrested. Like, oh God, don't tell him my name. Yeah, I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, and the worst part is it was so blatant. It was just like, what the hell were you thinking? Sooner or later, you're always gonna get caught, you know. But some people always think they're above everything. So, and honestly, they probably had good reason to think that because, what's mind blown is that we still know nothing about the Epstein stuff. Oh yeah, and I mean, all defense to our new president. I guess he's not really new. It's going on 6 months, right? But yeah, I mean, he's gonna have a lot of trouble releasing some of that stuff. He says he's gonna release the JFK tapes and the Epstein stuff, and yeah, I'm like, yeah. I'll believe it when I see that, because, I mean, there's definitely, we know, something untoward happened there. And somebody's definitely responsible. And so yeah, they'd sooner die than let that come out. So, but yeah, it's kind of, but yeah. But yeah, he claims he's going to release all that stuff, which I hope he does. I think we definitely need some more transparency from the government. But I mean, they can't even handle the corruption. I mean, They can't handle the corruption that's been exposed already. I mean, that's blowing their mind. I mean, come on. We knew that was there. We couldn't point our finger at it, so it's kind of nice to know exactly who's got their finger in the till. But God, I mean, there's no way you can make $100,000 a year and somehow end up a billionaire. It's impossible. That's just, yeah. So there's got to be a problem there, you know, and then the whole, you know, term limits. I really hope that he gets something done with term limits, because that would definitely be a game changer as well. Because I think that's part of the problem, is if you let these people be in there forever, of course they're gonna do things they shouldn't be doing because they think they're untouchable. So, but yeah, Epstein, God. And I wonder how much we're really going to get about the P. Diddy stuff, because I think it probably goes to levels we can't even imagine. And they're probably going to try to cover that stuff up. Because it's going to be like, yeah, this is going to be too devastating. Like, so what? Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. So, but yeah. Not like we didn't know they were crooks to begin with, so. How do you know a politician's lying? His lips are moving? Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. So yeah, so from that perspective, it's not surprising, but yeah, we'll see. I think he has good intentions, and I think he'll probably get more done than's ever been done before, but I think they're going to try it. They're really going to go overboard to prevent him from doing everything he wants to do, because it's just going to be so devastating. I don't think they'll ever recover once all that comes. I'm sure you got half the Democratic Party, probably quite a few Republicans as well, that were at the P. Diddy parties. So, I mean, you know, J-Lo is definitely implicit, you know. I mean, she was dating him, for crying out loud, and they said she was at several of the parties and knew what was going on. Supposedly that was one of the reasons that she broke up with him. But you didn't report it. Yeah. As a minimum, you could have gone to the cops, and if they didn't do anything, you could at least say, well, I tried, you know. But you didn't even report it. And so, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of amazing what they get away with. But you got money. That's the way it works here in the Philippines too. So at least it's good to see that that's kind of a universal standard. Is that with money you can do anything. So, in slightly less depressing news, this year's Computex in Taiwan just started. Oh, that's good. So that'll be a good one. Yeah, slightly less depressing news. Yeah. Sorry. Try not to get political. Check out this cool new style PC case they showed off. Well, you know what? I'm in the market for a new PC. Because we ended up doing way better than I thought we were going to do. And so I didn't buy a new computer before I left. So I think I'm going to buy one, buy the parts and have them shipped here to put together sometime in the next 6 months or so. I might wait till we move to the other place. But yeah, that's one I'm looking at. So yeah, so I'll check that out. Because I always like cool style, and especially if it keeps it cooler. Because here, cool is the problem. I'm thinking I might have to go with a water-cooled system. Though honestly, this one's doing well. Now I keep the case open, but I kept the case open in Kansas City. So, but yeah, I keep the case open, and I haven't had, knock on wood, I haven't had any. I got to be careful because Abigail's laying back here, but I haven't had any overheating problems. Like I said, my biggest problem is keeping the internet long enough, and And then the power. Like I said, we've been really blessed here so much. So the newer AIO coolers are a lot more reliable than even just a few years ago. So that's cool. Yeah. But yeah. So that's probably what I'll be looking at, is it'll have to be something with some kind of a high-end cooler. But this video card is still working really well. So I may be able to build one. I have the hard drive. I have the video card. The rest of it's all kind of elemental, so I could probably just replace the chip. Maybe even use the same memory. And so yeah, so I might be able to do it pretty cheap. But honestly, though, this one's still working really well. So maybe one of those where I wait. But the problem is, once it does start to act up, I'm gonna have, probably 2 months before I can get something new here. So. Though I've thought about it, it might be cheaper for me to fly to Taiwan, pick up the parts and bring them back. Because that's like a $200. That's like a $200, between $100 and $200 airfare. So piece of cake. So yeah, so that may be the way we go. I got so many irons in the fire, I don't know what to keep track of. So. Looks like Omega might have logged back on. Yep. Man, that's a hell of a reboot. I mean, that took them, what, an hour? Nah, half hour. But yeah, holy cow. Yeah, it sounds like Jackson was right. He's got some kind of a nuclear generator in his basement. I've got some problems. So that's not good. So not everything came back up. Gotta feed the hamster spinning the fans. Yeah. They get a little frustrated. I have a temp sensor that's saying 235. Woo, that's not good. That's not good. It sounds like you might have a fan out. Yeah, sounds like you might have a fan out. It's not pulling the heat away. Either that or I suppose, but see, a heat sink really can't go bad. Is yours water cooled? Maybe you're out of water. Maybe it evaporated. Yeah, motherboard overvolting. Yeah, AIO pump. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that sucks, buddy. Yeah. Might need to reset the BIOS. Oh, I didn't think about that. That's a good one. I have to verify the sensor. Yeah. I suppose it could be just a bad sensor. That's a good point. Yeah, I suppose it could be a bad sensor. Yeah. I hate those kind of things. Because you just got to go down the checklist and it takes forever. Go down the checklist to see which one's the problem. That's never a quick solution. So, yep, got to troubleshoot. Yeah, when you're not doing everything else, right? So, well, and you said it crashed during your stream. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the chips, they're not cheap. So, yeah, they're not cheap. So, there's been some recent issues with newer motherboards randomly putting too much power through the CPUs and killing them. Yeah, it froze up. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that sucks. Well, I'm glad I usually buy an old motherboard, huh? Second time since the last update on Thursday. Really? Man, that sucks. Well, then maybe it's also could be something with the update, maybe. Yeah, it might be something with the update. Maybe you check the update out. I noticed a high temp sensor when I was shutting things down. Yeah. Yeah, and if it's shutting down, that probably means the sensor's not bad. Of course, I don't know. It might be shutting down because the sensor's reporting it's hot. So it could be, but yeah, I know. Was it Dark Slide or somebody just switched to Linux, and but that was also kind of a nightmare. So yeah, I know too much about Windows to switch to Linux. So yeah, but yeah, Windows, what a freaking nightmare. One of our most successful businessmen, who's a self-proclaimed thief, stole it from Xerox, made billions. Everybody's okay with it. Nah, not me, although I have dabbled with it from time to time. Yeah, somebody was doing it. I don't remember who it was then. But yeah, somebody just switched to Linux. And yeah, I'm like, yeah, forget that. That's too much work. I would like to get rid of Windows, but that's a whole different issue. So, I always feel bad for Xerox, but then I think, well, you guys were kind of the stupid ones that trusted him, so it's kind of your own damn fault. So, but sorry you're having problems, Omega. Let me know if there's anything you need. I'll try to help out in any way I can. But yeah, you might check the Windows update because it's not uncommon for a Windows update to cause many issues. And you might be able to back it out, and that might fix your problem, which means you don't have a hardware problem, it's a software problem. So I actually see people posting on Reddit about using it for Eve every so often. So yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that was why I can't remember who it was. Maybe. Maybe Drakenhort, maybe that was it. Usually whenever CCP pushes an update, all the Linux gamers have to jump through some hoops to get it working again. Yep. Yeah, and that's the problem when you use one of those non-standard ones, is that always causes issues. You got to be prepared for that. So, in fact, that was one I was looking at. So I have not updated my OBS Studio, which is what I use for streaming, in forever. Because every time I update it, it causes huge issues. And so I usually update it like on a Friday right after I stream so that I have the whole weekend to, mess with it and work it out and all that stuff. And I've been meaning to do that for a while because I'm so far behind. Yeah. Yeah, I need to back it out for a bit and then check to see if there's a BIOS update for the board. Yep. And that could be. It could be something as simple as that. But if you back it out and it starts working, then you'll know that at least it's software. And that at least will take some of the stress off. Because you could always leave the update out until you figure out what it's conflicting with. Could be a driver update, could be a BIOS update, but yeah, that's kind of, yeah, what a nightmare. What a nightmare. I hate messing with those kind of things. That one just never gets resolved. I have to make sure it's not a security update. Yeah, because you don't want to make yourself vulnerable, especially being a streamer. But honestly, I wonder how much those security updates really protect us anyway. So those I kind of just work through. Yep. Because the hackers, they're getting those security updates too. So the better you make the lock, the better they get. The thieves become at lock picking. So yeah, the hackers, they get those security updates and study them and work on ways around them. So yeah, it's kind of 6 to 1, half dozen the other. But Windows really starts to bog down if you don't apply the security updates. So yeah, so from that perspective, you're probably right. But yeah, good old Windows. Good old Bill Gates. Why don't you let me take that off your hands? That's never gonna sell. Let me take that off your hands. I'll give it away with my computers. Nobody will like that. I'll give it away with my computers. Won't be a problem. Only in America. Only America. Only in America. Only in America. Uh-oh. See, I didn't get a notice that it stopped. You guys aren't telling me. Oh, what are we doing? There they are. Where are the cans? 18. Well, that's in the general direction, so let's see. Nope, wrong way. You mentioned some mountains that were cold there earlier. Do they have ski slopes or not enough cold? No, they don't get snow here, which is kind of funny. So the place we were at this weekend is in the mountains, but it wasn't much cooler. But it was, they have hot springs because it's actually a volcano. So much for the mining op tonight. No worries. It's all good. But yeah, the mountain is a volcano. So it's a hot spring that's coming out of the volcano because the volcano's heating it. And so that's what the pool was. The pool was they refilled it between guests. So we only stayed one night. So they emptied the pool when the previous guests checked out and refilled it when we checked in. And they refilled it with water from the hot spring. So yeah, beautiful views. Unfortunately, our resort, our building, the house was in the middle of the resort area. So the whole neighborhood is all resorts, and so it didn't really. I wasn't able to get really good pictures, and so I got some pictures of the place that I'll post. But yeah, I wasn't really able to get good pictures of the area. I think I got a couple of the mountains. But yeah, I was surprised because, they just filled up the pool. And so my wife was like, hey, you need to get in the pool because nobody wants to get in the pool until you get in. And I'm like, I don't want to get in that pool. It's going to be cold as crap. And that's when she said, no, they filled it up with the hot spring. And I said, okay. And so in America, when you go to a hot spring, you kind of get in the hot spring itself. With this, I guess they just pump the water out. And so they filled the pool up with the hot spring water, and which was kind of interesting. And so it was different. But yeah, it was really hot. I mean, like bath hot. I mean, and that's what I said to her. I said, what makes it hot? And that's when she said, oh, it's a volcano. And I'm like, okay, well, that should be really good mineral-wise. In America, if you go to a hot spring, that's, supposedly is good for your complexion. It's good for your joints because of all the extra minerals and the heat seeping into them. And so I was in the pool for probably like 3 to 4 hours. I mean, I was in there. I was having a time of my life, and everybody else was having a good time too. But yeah, they wouldn't get in the pool until I got in the pool, which I was like, okay. But I thought, man, that's going to be cold. I don't want to get in. And so it was hot, so I was kind of hoping it was going to be cold because it was really hot and really hot outside, as it always is here. And so then when I got in and the water was hot, I was like, okay, well, this is kind of counterproductive. But as long as you stayed in the water, it kind of regulated your temperature. And then once you got out, you just started sweating again. So yeah, it was kind of interesting because it was just like, but yeah, we had a really good time, and they were in the pool. Oh, I mean, they were probably in the pool till after midnight Saturday night, and they were in the pool almost the whole time Sunday. I mean, from the time we got done with breakfast until, at like, I don't know, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., until we left, at 1 p.m. We had to clean up and everything and get all that taken care of. But yeah, they were in the pool pretty much the whole time having a ball. So everybody had a really good time, which I was excited about because that's what I wanted. Wanted to make sure everybody had a good time. That's all I care about. All right, so where is this thing? Where is the can? So I got one stray can that's probably the opposite direction. Is it? I don't see it. There it is, up there. Yep, so it is the opposite direction. All right, so we'll leave it for now. But yeah, pretty views, like I said. And the weird part is I expected the water to cool off because they ran the water in. So it was 5 feet deep at the deep end, 3 feet at the shallow end. And then they said they had a jacuzzi, which we never found. But they had like a kid pool as well, which was, I think, like 2 feet deep. One of my nephews is disabled. He had a stroke. And so he's in a wheelchair. And so they were able to put him in there. We also had one younger kid. I think he was 7. My, I guess, great nephew, my niece's son. And so yeah, so he was swimming in the kid's side, and the disabled guy was in the kid's side. So that was kind of nice. So they were able to get in and enjoy it as well. So that was kind of nice. But yeah, all the adults, all the family, they had a ball swimming in the pool and all that. So that was kind of nice. So yeah, it's actually really made me excited about our pool. So it was indoors, but it wasn't sealed indoors. So it was right next to the kitchen, which I thought was kind of weird. So it had a huge kitchen and a living room, and I think I got some pictures of that. And then the pool was kind of the whole length of that area on the other side of the room. And then upstairs, there was one bedroom downstairs, which is where the disabled guy stayed. And then there were 4 or 5 bedrooms upstairs. I want to say it was either 5 or 6 bedroom place. And so yeah, so and then there was a third floor that actually had a basketball court on the third floor. And so the pool table was on the second floor. So it had a pool table, it had a basketball court. And so yeah, so there was plenty for everybody to do. But yeah, I was surprised because when they ran the water, of course it was hot. And so when we got in Saturday night, it was hot. But it was still hot on Sunday. And so I was kind of surprised because I don't really know how it stayed hot. Because once they put it in there, I kind of expected it would cool off. And it didn't. I don't know why. So that's kind of weird. But yeah, it didn't have any kind of filter. So it really was just a container for water and pipes to pump it in and a drain to wash it out. But yeah, that was really weird because they filled it and drained it after every tenant. And so we were only there one night. I thought, man, that's got to get expensive. But I guess they're pumping it right out of the hot springs, and so no big deal. But yeah, it was, like I said, it was an interesting setup and a very nice place, beautiful place. But so yeah, they call it a resort, but it really was like we rented a house, is what it really was. The whole neighborhood is all houses that you can rent, and so these people, they had 2 houses. It was called, I think, Mako 1 and Mako 2, and we were in Mako 2, but because that's what was available, and that was the bigger one, and it was good for 25 people. We ended up, like I said, with about 30 is what we ended up with. SargonofAmerish, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. But yeah, it was a really good time. Like I said, we stayed up till probably 2 a.m. I think I woke up got back up at 6, and so not a whole lot of sleep, which was, you know, interesting. But yeah, beautiful view of the mountain. So yeah, but that one's more, I guess that's more east of here. I think it's east of here. And so, yeah, probably northeast. And so, Thud King, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. So yeah, so probably northeast of here. So closer to Manila, but then east of Manila. So, and so that's where it was. The place we're going to, I don't know if it's next week or the week after, is called Baguio. And that's in the north. It's one of the northern provinces. We're going to have to, I think we're going to have to fly to get there. And so either fly or take a ferry, a boat. And so yeah, so that'll be interesting. And so yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm looking. I've never been to Baguio, so I'm interested in seeing Baguio. I'm told it's very comfortable there for Americans. There's a lot of expats that build their houses in Baguio because it's on the mountain. I don't want to deal with the mountain type stuff though, because it's very hard to get water on the mountain. Your well has to be dug very, very deep, which is very, very expensive. And so that's kind of it. So what's up, CB115 Almighty? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. But yeah, so from that perspective, but I'm anxious to see it. And like I said, I'm more excited that I might be able to con somebody into selling me Starlink while I'm up there. So that's why I'm looking forward to the trip, is to see if I can acquire my Starlink. So since I've been on the waiting list now for, I don't know, 3 or 4 months, so getting kind of old. But like I said earlier, I don't know if you all heard, but the Starlink here in the Philippines has raised the price, and they've actually offered to buy back from anyone who's not using it, because they are sold out in the Manila area. And they said if it's been less than 30 days, you'll get a full refund. If it's been more than 30 days, you'll get a 50% refund. I think it was 50%. It's either 50 or 75%. I think it was 50%. So the kit is about $500. So, and then the service per month, they're raising the service per month. Right now it's about $50, and they're raising it to about $70, which is what I paid for my Google Fiber. So not to jinx things, but connection seems good lately. Yeah, I was saying the same thing, though I was worried about saying it out loud. But yeah, I've been rebooting. I reboot my router and my Ethernet connection, my Ethernet port. Yeah, the router and the what comes from the satellite dish. I reboot that every Sunday, and that seems to be helping. Because it looks like it was probably, it had like an 8 or 9 day lag where it was having some problems. I still do have issues sometimes where the service cuts out. So yesterday we lost service in the middle of the day. But it was after my stream, so it wasn't a big deal. But it was only like 15-20 minutes. Actually, it was during the storm, which didn't make any sense. Because we didn't lose electricity. SargonofAmerish, I live in the Ukraine, so I'm just happy when it's working at all. There you go. And that's kind of where I'm getting here. So I was spoiled in America. So I'm originally from Kansas City. I was a streamer in Kansas City until a little over a month ago. And my wife and I just retired and moved to the Philippines here middle of April. And so, yeah, I was pretty spoiled there. I didn't know what I was going to get into here when it came to internet, but it's actually been better than I had planned. But unfortunately here, many things are not as reliable as America. So the electricity cuts out on a pretty regular basis. The internet cuts out on a pretty regular basis. and so from that perspective, it's just something you got to get used to. So, but yeah, and then so we're building a house here. So this is a rental that we're in now, and we're building a house here. And so when we build our house, it'll be all solar powered, and so that way we won't have to worry about the power outages. Where my brother-in-law lives is where our land is, which is about a half an hour from where we're at right now, and and they they lose power a lot, and so we want to make sure we avoid that. So, because that would be just my luck, they would cut the power off every day while I'm streaming. So, but they also lose water a lot. But my brother-in-law doesn't have a well, so we're talking about getting him a well. And were you just in Heck saying evening miners in local? Yeah. So yeah, he's talking to Sargon. So, but yeah, so we're looking forward to that. We're working on getting a contractor to get done. That was the other Sargon. I hate when that happens. But yeah, so yeah, we're working on trying to get a contractor and get that started. 2020. Welcome Sargon and CB. How long have you been playing Eve? So 2020, yep. Oh, I'll send you a screenshot and let you figure it out. There you go. But yeah. And so yeah, so we're pretty excited about getting that process started. Unfortunately, in order to get that process started, I've got to have my 401k straightened out. So my 401k provider in America has not, even though I've been gone from my company for over a month, they still haven't considered me separated from the company yet. So I have to wait for them to finally decide that I am truly separated from the company. So then they'll let me do something with my 401k. And then once that happens, we'll be able to get that straightened out because that's where we're going to pay for the house build is out of my 401k. So we have land, we have other land here, so we own two properties here. We're trying to sell the one because the price has shot up on it, and that would actually pay for half the house. But it hasn't sold yet, so I have enough in my 401k to cover it, and then we can always just replenish it once the land sells. So, but yeah, we're pretty excited to get that started. In fact, I was saying earlier, I gotta send an email. Now we need a porpoise one. There you go. I need to send an email to one of the contractors my wife wants to talk to, which is a huge contractor here in the Philippines. They build everywhere, so not the same for me. 2021 though, that's my second time. I played about 10 years ago for maybe a year and a half. You weren't able to reactivate that account, Dark Slider? Because even though I was gone for a while, I kept this account, these accounts, which made a huge difference. Otherwise, I'd have been in trouble. But yeah. But what else? Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. Mothball the OG. Gotcha. Yeah, I always kept the OG one around. So even though it caused me problems way back in the day, they would look at how old you were, and if you were older than a certain thing, they would attack you immediately, no matter what, no matter where you were, because they thought it was going to be a challenge. Unfortunately, they learned with me that PvP, I'm not a challenge in PvP at all. I don't even die well. I don't even get upset about dying. So you can always sell it on the bazaar. There you go. Yep. But yeah, so oh, I still have my OG tune, but I would have to use skill extractors to redo skills. Just don't feel like messing with it. Yep, yep. There's somebody that one of my regular viewers that watches that does the skill extractor stuff. It might have been Marverick, I think. He hasn't been around for a while. I need to reach out to him, see how he's doing. But yep, there's SargonofAmerish. Yep. So yeah, so you could always work that out with one of them. They'll make you a good deal on some skill extractors. I thought about at one point in time extracting the skills from Falstaff and redoing them, but like you said, it's too much work. But if it was one I wasn't playing, it might be worth it. So it was Yahoo. There you go. So oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. So yeah, so the wife left at 5 a.m. this morning to go to Manila with most of her family. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Probably about a quarter of her family. The ones that were left here. So we had several members of the family that came back here after the anniversary celebration this weekend. And so they stayed here for 2 days until they went back to Manila today. But yeah, her sister's in from Japan, so they're trying to work out some stuff with her Social Security here. My wife's trying to open a bank account, which we'd need. And she's trying to get some of her other stuff for the government worked out as well. And that has to be done in Manila. So yeah, so they're kind of working together to try and accomplish things. But anytime you go to a government facility here in the Philippines, you need to pack a lunch because it's definitely going to be all day. No matter what you're trying to do, it's going to take all day long. So yeah, so that's always kind of frustrating. I never trust my wife with a bank account. She gets a cash allowance and that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, she's just opening the bank account. I'm the one who has to send the money to it. So I'll send you all the kill miles next time I am on. There you go. But yeah. So yeah, so Sargon, we're in Ufine. So we do a mining event every Monday night, USA time, or Tuesday morning my time. And we mine here in Ufine. It's a pretty quiet, high-tech system. So unfortunately, we don't have a whole lot of people joining us today, but that's the way it works. Some weeks, you know, we have 20 some people. Other weeks we only have 2 or 3 like we have today. So Sargon loves mining. There you go. I thought Sargon loves miners. Yeah, like to target miners. But yeah, that's right. Yeah, mining's a necessary evil. So we try to do it in a group. So at least that way we have, you know, kind of keep everybody entertained, keep everybody from falling asleep. Unfortunately, the USA people, most of them, it's pretty late for them right now. So East Coast, it's just after midnight, about 12:15 a.m. Central Time. So where I was originally from, Kansas City, it'll be about 11:15 now. And then when you get in the mountain, that's going to be 10:15. So yeah, here it's just after lunchtime, 12:15 p.m. So just opposite side of the world. So it's amazing. The internet can bring us all together. We've got Ukraine, we've got Philippines, we've got America. We're covering the whole gambit. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thunk? But yeah, Canada, yep. Yep, Canada. Got it all covered. Yep, got it all covered. Got it all covered. Got it all covered. We were talking earlier, so those of you that are like me and you're cheap, Canada only counts for half a point. I don't know. They're the American president wants to annex Canada, so I don't know. We'll have to see. So I don't think he'll get away with that, but he likes to make his threats. So, but yeah. And Mexico. He wants to annex Mexico as well. So, I mean, we could barely take care of what we already have. So, hey, now, as an honorary Canadian, I don't care for that talk. Exactly. 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 What was I going to say? There was something I was going to say. Oh, so yeah, we were looking, and if you guys are like me and you're super cheap, Baldur's Gate 3 is on sale for a week. So like a 20% discount. So instead of $60, it's like down to 47, 48, I think. So, hey, it wasn't a threat, it was an offer. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, it would definitely solve some of our immigration problems if we, you know, migrated it further south and north. But we got too many borders to cover. We seal it up down in those places. That makes it a lot easier to cover. Much smaller wall. Canada, we don't have to worry about. You know, that's all ocean outside of it. So if they want to swim across that, more power to them. But that's why Cuba doesn't have any problems. Nobody swims. Oh. But yeah. But yeah. Always interesting. Always interesting. They can swim across the Panama Canal. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, that's not swimming. All you got to do is tread water. It'll move you automatically with the current. So I can never understand Alaska. There you go. Yeah. JT said if America stopped paying Canada, they would go bankrupt. So Trump said we can make them a state and not worry about it. Yeah. 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 I could never understand Alaska. Yeah. But yeah, the Panama Canal. Yeah. So supposedly, yeah, he wants to annex the Panama Canal as well. So since I guess at one point in time we actually owned the Panama Canal, which I didn't know. They teach history in our high school in America, but it's one of those, it's like everything else in America. Everything you learn in America, you learn it, you write it down, and you forget it. So make us all united. Yep. One world under God. There you go. There you go. But yeah. Yeah, you give him a chance, he probably will. Alaska is pretty beautiful. Yep. Yep. Most popular cruise, they say, is the Alaskan cruise. So it's so nice. So nice. Trump 2032. Yeah. 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 We'll see. We'll see. Supposedly, Kamala is going to run in 2028. So, watch out. Watch out. She did such a good job this past one. She's going to be unstoppable in 2028. Yeah. Yeah. I heard, the latest one I heard was that he was going to run for vice president in the next election. Him and JD would switch. Would guarantee a Trump win. Yeah. 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 It's really turned, it's really shaken the country up, which is good. I think it's probably about time they got shaken up. So Kanye would win sooner. There you go. Actually, at this point, P. Diddy might win, you know? So I don't know. I think he's in jail at the moment, so he probably couldn't take office, but he could probably do a write-in candidacy and probably win. Sorry, ads are on. But yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Sorry about that, Almighty. Cryo Trump. There you go. Yeah. A clone. I have to make a clone. Have to make a clone. Yeah, he doesn't look as old as he is, so especially compared to Biden. He's really showing his age. But yeah. But yeah. What else? So yeah, so the wife may be gone. She's going to be gone at least all day today, but probably gone tomorrow as well, and maybe even longer, depending on how long the government facilities string them along. So, but we'll see how that works. Hopefully, she gets the bank account open. So yeah, so here in the Philippines, I cannot open a bank account. You need 4 local picture IDs. And as an immigrant, they will not provide me 4 local picture IDs. So they kind of make it impossible for you to get a bank account. So, or he could identify as a woman. There you go, Donna Trump. That would work. That would work. Yeah, that would work. Time to learn PvP while she's away. That way she won't be concerned when you get mad. There you go. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. Yeah, somebody had to go and say, is it my connection that's lagging? No, it's mine. Somebody had to go and say something about me not having internet problems, and then it cut out. So yeah, it was me. I should be back if you guys can hear me. So, but yeah, I lost Kragan. Let me bring up my alt. He got disconnected, but yeah, that's what I get for talking. So okay, thanks CB. I added you as a VIP, so try that link now. It might work. There you go. There you go. And I need to whitelist anything that's Eve related. In fact, that's another one I've been meaning to do. Add that to my list. Yeah. Because that would make it a lot easier. Then that way you guys won't have to be VIPs. You can just handle it. You can just do it automatically. Alright, I gotta re-invite Craig in because he got dumped. Hate when that happens. Alright, he's back in. Luckily, he got dumped and it wasn't Falstaff. That would have really screwed things up. Alright. There we go. Now we're back on track. Back on track. 2.2 billion. Ouch. Yahoo and his orca. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt. Man, that was in high sec. Did he get ganked? My wife sent me a message on Facebook at 10 o'clock. Oh, I got his 5 Mackinalls as well. 4 out of the 5 were Orfit. Ouch. Good job. Good job. But yeah, that's high sec. Are you guys war? He got evicted from the Corps for repeatedly violating corporate. Oh, gotcha. Looks like an AWOX. Yep, there you go. There you go. There you go. All right, asteroid is depleted. We can fix that. Oh, man, that took a long time. All right. All right. And when I evict... Okay, well, look, thanks. And when I evict, I do it almighty style. I hit them where it really hurts. Yeah, that would definitely do it. Oh, my lord. Orca. I can't imagine losing a Orca. Oh, that would be a kick, major kick. Major kicked. Well, and that's the thing. If he can't learn to quit breaking the rules, that's what he gets. That's what he gets. That's what he gets. That's what he gets. Took nearly 10 billion in ships and implants from him. There you go. Ouch. Ouch. Like you said, hit him where it hurts. Hit him where it hurts. Hit him where it hurts. From the... All right. Took nearly 10 billion in ships and implants. Yep. Can I post a screenshot of the broken orca? I don't know if it'll let you. Try. You should be able to do all links now. So. Yeah, you should be able to do all links now. So. I don't know if it worked or not. Yeah, it looks like it did. No, it just linked to Discord. So yeah, it doesn't look like it did. Yeah, it looks like it linked Discord. So it didn't bring up the screenshot, but it brought up Discord. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yes, that brought it up. Oh, that's awesome picture. That's an awesome picture. That's an awesome picture. Yeah, that's an awesome picture. Yeah, that is an awesome picture. Well, hopefully next time he joins a corp, he'll think about not breaking the rules. Probably not, but we can always hope that he'll learn from his mistake. Of course, if I had a nickel. I absolutely loved it. I told him to form his own corp and anchor some Afnorse. There you go. That way you can declare war on him. Exactly. Yeah, that'll make it much easier. Much easier. Much easier. Yeah. If only. If only. That's a nice picture. If only. Yeah, it never quite works out that well, so. Never quite works out that well, so. Then I can get his Orca again as a war target. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, because he'll probably buy another one, so. CB Almighty, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, then he'll always get it back that way. Yeah, because he's definitely going to replace it, so. Yep. Definitely going to replay it. He is the wallet warrior. Swipes his credit card to learn skills and buy shit. That's, I think that was the biggest mistake they ever made in Eve, was allowing that. But I understand. That's how they make money. So. That's how they make money. So. But yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. That's how they make money. I was just watching one last night. I guess Star Citizen just did the same thing. Except they were actually quite a bit worse. So they made everything behind paywalls. So just about everything in the game is behind paywalls. So you can buy all the skill point and ish you want. But if you don't have the soft skills, you're going to die a lot. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. Anyways, I got to get some sleep. Happy I found you as a fellow miner and industrialist. I'm sure we can get along well. Not a worries. You're always welcome. Always welcome. We welcome everybody. We welcome everybody. We welcome everybody. We welcome everybody. Even Sargon. Even Sargon. I think it looks like Darksider fell asleep. So, yeah, exactly. He's in his capsule, so yeah. I think he just likes flying in and flying out. All right. I sent you some messages in game. I thought maybe you fell asleep since there's no hockey games on today. Of course, I don't know. They'd be over by now anyway, so. He's just checking us out. He's just checking us out. Just checking us out. Get a mining ship, Sargon, and join us. You're welcome. He was in a mining ship. Yeah, it says capsule there. Catalysts are mining ships too, you know. Yeah. Salt miners. There you go. Salt miners. Salt miners. Salt miners. Yep, salt miners. Mining the salt from the tears. Mining the salt from the tears. All right, Almighty, have a good night. Appreciate you stopping in. Thanks again. Made my nephew a Nares Mark III, an Alpha drone hauler, his new toy. There you go. There you go. Cargo hold optimization, expanded cargo hold. That looks good. Drone hauler. I'm going to save that one just so I have it. Yeah, I'm signing off as well. Catch up next week. No worries. It's a holiday, so I'll most likely be streaming extra during the morning after since I'm off that day. No worries. Thanks, Omega. I appreciate it. You have a good day. Have a good day. You guys so long. Sargon self-destructed. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Nope, nope, nope. I didn't want those. I hate when it does that. Yeah, it's time to call it a night anyways. All right, bud. I'm probably going to do the same, so appreciate you being here. Sorry it was just us, but that's all good. Why don't you put your drones in groups? Okay. Because I've never learned how to do that. So you do it in the bay? In the dock of the bay. to a new group. All right, there you go. Wait just 5 more minutes. Not gonna do that. Timing is perfect. Timing is great. All good. Maybe more miners and fewer jerks will be here. Yeah. No worries. It's all good. It's all good. All part of a day's work. All part of a day's work. All part of a day's work. So all part of a day's work. No big deal.
Warp drive active.
But yeah, we'll probably stop a little earlier. Maybe I'll run this thing over to Blue Gray. Blue Gray's probably gone, but I can at least drop it off for him so he'll have it. And I can do that on stream. Can't believe the booster considered aggression. That's kind of weird.
Docking permission requested. Docking request denied.
Docking request denied.
Docking permission requested. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Yeah, have a good one, Dark Slider. Appreciate you being here. Thanks again. Unfortunately, oh, so let me do this. I'm gonna do 50. 50. Put these in the item hanger. Come on, stop moving. Contract these to Jerry Can. Jadzia. All right, excellent, excellent, excellent. Got those taken care of. Let's do mining hold. Let's keep that in there. Throw these over here. Let's put this back in the mining hold so we can compress it the next time. And then let's go to ship hanger and board. Let me make sure I don't have anything weird on here. So the links being aggression makes it really interested in PvP beats not being able to jump. Yep, yep. Yeah, that's where I was kind of like, that's kind of a weird one. So yeah, it wouldn't let me dock until the timer expired, which wasn't a big deal. It expired like 2 seconds later, but it was kind of a pain. All right, so I got the covert ops. I've got the cargo hold optimizations on there. Yeah, so this will work. Make sure I don't have anything in the... Yep, so let's take this one to them, and let's go to Doe Dixie. Actually, I don't have anything in Doe Dixie. Doe Dixie. Doe Dixie. Yep. Sargon, appreciate it.
Warp drive active.
So yeah, I'll drop this off for Blue Gray. Drop this one off for Blue Gray. I forgot how much of a pain in the rear 14 characters of PI is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Especially if you have to actually rejigger stuff. That gets really old really fast. All right, thanks, buddy.
Warp drive active.
But yeah, that's a real pain. I don't have that many, luckily, Dracborne. I only have, I usually do 3, so. And that's more than enough.
Warp drive active.
But now that you mention it, though, I haven't done my PI in quite a while, so I probably need to do that here one of these days. Probably need to do that here one of these days. Probably need to do that one of these days. Dark Slider, have a good day.
Warp drive active.
Especially since I'm looking at the building some more of those minor boosts. They're going to require some PI, so.
Warp drive active.
Which means rejiggering it all to build other stuff. But that's part of the whole PI game. I really need to look some more for my wormhole to see if I can find it, or just pay somebody to tell me where it's at. Problem is, I'm pretty sure somebody lives there and they're not going to be happy about me trying to get that stuff out, so. JKT, I'm not sure if you're still in the stream or not, so. I have mentioned it earlier, but I wasn't sure if you were in the stream, so that's why I put it in the in-game channel. If you are, I'm sorry for duplicating it. Always good to have family playing Eve.
Warp drive active.
Yep, there you are. Yep, always good to have family. Yep. Thanks, Sargon. Ugh. I'm probably going to have to get up here in a minute anyway, because this plastic chair, I think, is embedded in my rear end, so. I still got a little bit of coffee left. Thanks, Sargon. Appreciate you keeping it interesting. Alright, let's see. Federal Navy. Yeah, let's do Federal Navy. Paragon Fulfillment Center. We ought to do that one. I could buy the... Yeah, I could buy the Corp logo for the Estero. Let's do that. Let's do that. We're gonna have to figure out somebody to raid here in a minute. Narcos, I don't think he's streaming today. He streamed yesterday. He actually did Elite Dangerous, which was pretty cool. That might be another one we'll try in the future. Trying to mix it up a little bit. We'll do Eve Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, my time. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, you guys' time. And then we'll do something else on the beginning and the end of the week. So mix it up, try and get some other stuff in there. Get my variety streamer status back. So alright, let's leave. Nope. Leave. I'm gonna change name. Call it for Blue Gray. Alright, let's contract this baby. Oop. I don't know why tab doesn't work. All right. All right. All right. Maybe we take some of these others back. Yeah, we want to keep that one there. Movie water. I don't know what those are doing there. We could always use another Nerys. Just head back to the feed. Yeah, we'll sit here and we'll check out who we're gonna raid. Who we're gonna raid.
Warp drive active.
See who we got. Wait a second. Okay, that's not it. Let's go back to Twitch. Back to Twitch. Actually, Anarchos is online. He said he wasn't streaming today. All right. Well, I guess it will be Anarchos.
Warp drive active.
How long has he been on? 6, almost 7 hours. If you end up doing Elite, let me know. Okay. Yeah, I probably will. I played it before. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's not Eve, but you know. All right. All right, says he's going to be around, so we'll go ahead and give him a raid.
Warp drive active.
Which should work out. Appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for watching. Always good. Played it pretty hard for about 6 months back in 2021. I have a carrier now. There you go. There you go. Yeah, they made some new changes, and so I've been wanting to check those out. I haven't played since the new changes, so. But yeah, so let me go ahead and get him rated. But yeah, we'll definitely give it a try. He was playing it yesterday, and it looked pretty cool, so. Always team mothership, so. But yeah, we'll give him a raid. But appreciate you guys watching, and I will be back on tomorrow, same time, so about a little less than 20 hours from now. So 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 a.m. Filipino time. So Dracborne, appreciate it. Keep up the good work. Hope you get to retire soon.
Warp drive active.
It's beautiful. I love it. I wish I had done it 20 years ago, though I'm sure I didn't have the money for it 20 years ago. So, Jerry Can, I contracted those back to you. Thank you so much for bailing me out. I appreciate it. And I think I'm going to buy BG3, so we'll definitely look at doing that one as well. It's on sale, so I'm going to go ahead and buy it while it's on sale before it gets off on sale. So, and then, yeah, we'll go ahead and raid an Arcos. And I will see you guys tomorrow. So thanks for being here. Appreciate the watch. Appreciate the follows. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great one. Take care.